Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to participate in our community discussions. It's important for us as a country to hear the viewpoints of local leaders on issues that are affecting our community and our economy. In these discussions, we are going to be tackling typical taboo subjects that no one wants to take a stance on. Today, we'll be discussing illegal immigration. We're going to use our local interviewer at large, Joshua McAlpine, to contact our local leaders and ask them the tough questions about illegal immigration. Joshua asked me before the show what I felt about illegals coming here and taking all the American jobs. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told him. The largest immigration wave was in the early 1900s, and they directly contributed to our economic growth and lowest national unemployment. It's easy to pick one situation or two that look unfavorable for illegal immigrants, but I think as a community and as a country, we have to look at the big picture, step back and look at the benefits we get as a country. We need to learn from our history. I'm going to turn it back to you, Joshua. Thank you.
Thank you for answering that question for us. Right now, we'd like to take it to our current governor, who is Governor Snyder. We'd like to ask him what he thinks of illegal immigrants, kind of the future of illegal immigrants, and one issue that's special to him is whether or not illegal immigrants actually pay taxes. Governor Snyder, how is that? Do you think illegal immigrants pay taxes? That's a tough word to say, isn't it?
Hey, Joshua, thank you for that question. Let me just try to explain that real quick. I think immigrants are great. I think they contribute to the economy. I think it's been proven. There's a lot of scientific evidence. And as long as my party stays in power, I think everything will go as needed. But let's get back to that issue real quick. Immigrants pay taxes in the form of income tax, property tax, sales tax, and taxes for the federal and the state level. And as far as income tax payments go, the Treasury Department says that immigrants pay between $90 billion and $140 billion a year in federal, state, and local taxes.
Next myth, immigrants are here just to get welfare. Let's ask our man on the street. Excuse me, sir. Are immigrants here just to get welfare?
Are you talking to me?
Who's that guy? Where'd he come from? So we're going to ask somebody else. Excuse me, sir. Are immigrants here just to get welfare?
One of the students, the immigrants, are here to take welfare. Based on my research and my 2 degrees in finance and marketing, I can tell you that the immigrants are not here just to take welfare benefits. The immigrant labor force, at 12.4%, is traditionally higher than native-born immigrants, 11.5%. In other numbers, the ratio between immigrant use of public benefits and the amount of taxes they pay is consistently favorable to the U.S. One estimate says immigrants earn about $240 billion a year. They pay about $90 billion in taxes, and they only use about $5 billion in public benefits. My finance guy, who I trust a lot, who does my estates, he said that typically immigrants pay about 20 or 30 billion more in taxes than they use in welfare benefits. And Joshua, now I have a question for you. Why is that camera so close? It just feels like it is so close.
Let's jump back into history real quick. The next myth we want to tackle is that immigrants have changed in the past 20 years. Not the same immigrants 100 years ago. Sir, how do you feel about that?
I know that the immigrants look like back then, and they look exactly like they do now. In fact, the percentage of the U.S. population that is foreign-born now is about 12%. In the early 20th century, it was about 15%. Now, just like 100 years ago, the immigrants often settled in their like-minded neighborhoods, spoke the languages, and then they built up the newspapers and businesses that catered to their fellow immigrants. They also experienced the same types of discrimination that today's immigrants face, and they integrated within American culture at a similar rate. If we view history, we remember that every new wave of immigrants has been met with suspicion and doubt. And yet, eventually and ultimately, every past wave of immigrants has been vindicated and saluted.